Hi everybody and welcome back to my Lawn Bowls for Fun channel. Alec here. It's been a little while because, to be honest, I've covered a lot of things that I wanted to do with my Lawn Bowls for Fun channel, but I found something that I think you'll find useful. And what that is we found at our club, the indoor club that I play for, a lot of people have started having problems as they get a bit older. They may have back problems or hip problems or knee problems, or like me, I've got a very bad balance mechanism and they're struggling to stay bowling. And there are things that you can do that hopefully will help you with that. So what I want to do today is to go through some of the aids that you can buy that help people to continue bowling. So what I'm going to start with today, the first one is, as I've just mentioned, I've had a balance issue most of my life, or certainly my bowling career, and it's meant that as I've got older, my balance has got worse. And the first thing I tried was using a stick. Now this is a stick I bought online. You'll notice it's a lot shorter than normal. I'm not suggesting that this works for everybody, but if you use a stick to help you get down low enough and to keep your balance, or whatever reason it is, some people use a normal length stick, but I find that when you do that, if you're up here like this, when you get down to bowl, your body bends. It's an awkward sort of, you find yourself in a bit of an awkward position. I find that having a shorter stick means that, you can see, I can balance much better when I'm down low enough with a shorter stick, and then I just bowl using my arm. I don't take a step forward, because if I take a step forward I tend to lose my balance. So this works for me. So a lot of people do use walking sticks. You have to buy one of these rubber bases just so it doesn't damage the green, but they're readily available. I think they're about £10 online. Whether you buy a shortened stick, I had the older this one online, and this was cut down to the size I wanted it to be, because I found a shorter stick does work for me, but do try a longer one if you prefer. But that's the first and sort of the easiest option, where it helps you steady yourself before you bowl and let go of the bowl, and it's just helped me keep my balance rather than the normal process of putting the hand on the knee, which does work as well to a degree, but what this does, it gives you a third, almost a third leg, and it gives you a bit more balance.
Not necessarily else you can, but I mean, if there's problems, I'm the only one who does the also has the odd one, and Bill have done.
So do try a stick as one of the options. As I say, it works for me, and it may not work for you, but it's certainly worth looking at. So that's option one. The second option is what's known as the pusher. And here we have one that I bought, in fact, a couple of years ago at the outdoor club, when we had a few people that were struggling to get down low enough and they weren't reaching the head with their bowls because they had either hip or knee problems and just couldn't get down low enough. And what this is, I'm going to demonstrate now. So here's the bowl. This one, incidentally, does vary in length. This unscrews for transportation if you wish to, and it does go quite long depending on what size you want it. I have it about this length. I have actually demonstrated this on my YouTube channel before. I'll leave the link below, or at least the number of the video to find, where I do quite a long session. I'm just going to do a very quick session today, but the pusher is one of the cheaper options you can buy currently. These, I believe at the moment, are £80 online. I've seen them at 70, I've seen them at 100, but mostly around about the £80 mark. You may have to pay postage as well, but do shop around. Right, this one, let me just show you how this works. There's a big circle here where the bowl, where it engages the bowl, and a smaller one for the jack. So what you do is you place the bowl into this round half circle, and then you decide which way you're going to bowl. Place the bowl on the green, and then you place the pusher onto the bowl, and then you just let go with the bowl like that. And depending on how hard you push as to whether you want it to go a long way or a short way, you can see how easy that is. You don't have to take a step forward. Let me do another one. So you just line up the way you want it. Say I'm going to bowl the other hand. You place the bowl on the green. Like so. I won't take a step forward this time. I'll let the bowl go. Depending on whether you want to take a step forward or not, go online. There are other videos that show you or demonstrate how to use the pusher. I personally haven't seen too many of these being used. I do know that people do use them. In fact, I was talking the other day to someone that played in a game, and someone was using one of these pushers to great effect as well. So it's there's a bit of a learning curve with any of these new things, but this is, as I say, quite a cheap option. It's quite easy to use. You either take a step forward when you push, or you can do it like, as you see, I can lose my balance quite easily. I would just push the bowl along rather than take a step forward. It's up to you to try what you think will work best for you. If you go online and put in lawn bowls pusher, you'll find I think there's two types available. This one is, as I say, about £80, and the other one's about £100. I'm not sure about, here's a photograph of the other one. I haven't seen those in the UK. I think they're at the moment sold in Australia. I know the pusher has been approved by Bowls England, so you can use this on English lawn bowling greens. So that's the pusher. Let's reduce that one down. The next option is the bowling arm. I think you might well have seen plenty of these around. This is made by Drake's Pride, and it is the most commonly used bowling aid that I've seen on the green. And if you watch here, you actually grip with your fingers, and you can see that it is closed up. And then to release it, you let go of your fingers. So let me just demonstrate that with a bowl. There we are. You can pick the bowl up. Depending on the line you want to take, you set it up. I'm just going to demonstrate with this one. I would let you see how I'm doing with these, but I'll show you later how I got on. But you can see how easy that was. I'll do another bowl. This time going the other way. You line up depending on the bias you want. You can take a step forward. I personally don't, but it's up to you to experiment yourself. So there you go, it's quite straightforward. What I've found with this arm is that you can either release it with the fingers, and I keep hold of this top bit of the handle with the thumb, or some people just keep hold of the bottom handle and release with the thumb piece, whichever really works for you. So there are two different options you can use with that one. This is quite weighty, but not over heavy, but it's a nice robust piece of equipment. And as I say, it's the most used bowling arm I've seen in the UK at the moment. We have a lot of people play with one of these arms at our club. These are about £170 is about the lowest I've seen it in the UK at the moment, but I've seen them up to £200. You may have to pay postage on top of that. Often the £200 costs include postage, but do shop around. As I say, Drake's Pride bowling arm, if you type that into any computer, onto Google search, and it'll find you where you can buy one of those. They come in various sizes, basically short, medium and large. I'm a medium height. If you want to know the exact sizes, again, go to a website and it will give you that information. This is a medium size one. The long one I did try, but it was far too long for me, and the short one, obviously, again, I was letting go of the bowl too high up from the ground. So that one is just about right for me. So that's the Drake's Pride one. Okay, now the next one I want to show you is another bowling arm that hasn't been available very long in the UK. It's made in Australia, and it's called the DHB, well, it's called the Hacksaw. And you can see why. It looks a bit like Hacksaw, doesn't it? It's the same idea. You can see here the way I'm holding it. It's just slightly different in that you have to let go with the fingers. You can see it's quite simple to do that. And I've tried both of them. It just depends on which method you prefer. The same idea is you can pick the bowl up and you can adjust it, but depending on the bias you want to use, stand on the mat. And release. Very straightforward. This one also there's a little wire piece here which you unclip if you want to pick up the jack. There you go. And then you just send the jack down using the same method. Very straightforward. And then you push that back when you don't want to use the jack anymore. Let me try another one on the other bias. You can see how easy it is to use to pick up the bowls. Now, the Hacksaw has been available in Australia for some time and has been approved in Australia and also Bowls England. And it's lighter than the other one I just showed you. It's quite lightweight compared to that one. Whether it's as robust or not, time will tell. But they're starting to be used in the UK now. It's a bit more expensive. This one is £240 plus postage. I don't know whether it's available in many places. I bought mine from Hunter Bowls, and they are the main suppliers, I believe, in the UK. But you may find they are available in other locations as well. But if in doubt, go to Hunter Bowls. So yeah, very straightforward, very lightweight. You see, now compare the two. The two main bowling arms that are available. Just a different method. This, I say, this one's a little heavier than the Hacksaw. Is it more robust? I certainly had no problems with anyone saying that they break or they don't last very well. This is a pretty robust bowling arm. This one seems robust as well. There's no reason to suspect it won't be as robust as this one. Just a matter of choice, and of course the cost difference. This one's about £170. This one's about £240 currently. Of course, you know, the way things are going at the moment, and a year from now they might be quite a bit more. Now the last one to show you, and this is similar, well, it's identical to the Hacksaw, yet you can see it's very, very short. Now the reason for that is that there are a number of bowlers that I know that do have trouble getting down far enough, but they can still bend sort of half the distance. So if you like, they're okay going down this far, but what they can't do is get down here. And this is where this comes into its own. Let me just demonstrate that one. Same idea, pick the bowl up. Depending on the bias you want to use, this time I'm going to bend down halfway. There's the first one, let me do another one. So there we go, it's quite different. I haven't seen these being used yet by anybody, but they've only literally just come out. They were available about a month ago again from Hunter Bowls. And it's called the Hybrid. It's a much smaller version of the normal length one, which is this one here. But you can see they're identical other than the length. So if you want to use an arm because you can't get down fully, but you don't want to go all the way and have a full length arm, you can try this one out. Again, it's got the same little piece on there for picking up the jack. And yeah, it's a nice little piece of equipment. Now the Hybrid is the same price as the full length bowling arm, which is £240 plus postage. So I don't know why it's the same price, but there we are, it is. Now with all these different pieces of equipment, with all these bowling aids, there's quite a big learning curve. So don't expect to pick one up and to be able to plonk a ball on that jack straight away. It just won't happen. And in fact, there's been some debate online. I was asked a question by someone down here the other day, actually. You know, does that give you an unfair advantage? Well, no, it doesn't. I really do not believe that is the case. In fact, if you try one out, you'll soon realise it's not as easy as it looks. It does take time to get the hang of it. I know about half a dozen people, they're good friends of mine, that use these now. A couple of them have been really good bowlers, top bowlers, and in the last few years they've struggled, and what they've done is this has kept them bowling. They're still nowhere near as good as they were when they were at their peak and when they were bowling without any problems. And this helps a huge amount. It gets them bowling and they do really well with them, but they're still not going to be as good as they were before they started using some sort of bowling arm. But they are there to be used. We've got about, I don't know how many people in this club now, a couple of dozen people maybe that use them out of 450 members. And they really enjoy using them. But there is a bit of a learning curve, so don't expect to pick one up and be able to bowl with it straight away. The bowling arms I just showed you, they do come with, let me just show you, with covers. Here we are. This is the green cover that comes with the Drake's Pride one. And then we've got some other covers for the hacksaws as well. So they're handy to carry around. Okay, so if you've got any questions about this, do ask me down below, leave a message and I'll try and answer the questions for you. Although if you go online, there's a lot of information available with all the pieces of equipment I've shown you. Go to Disability Bowls England or just do a search and you will find other videos out there, probably going into a lot more detail than I just have. So do go and have a look online if you've got any questions, or, you know, I'm happy to answer them if I know the answers. Okay, that's it for me. So enjoy your bowling and see you soon.